on the record. Those of you who joined us last week were probably amazed, as I was, by some of the latest research in the field of UFOs. The documents allegedly prepared for an organization called MJ-12 state that a program to fly recovered alien spacecraft. Checking out Lazar's credentials proved to be a difficult task. He says he earned degrees in physics and
electronics, but the schools we contacted say they've never heard of it.
Did you see that movement? No, I didn't. It was like it went boom. Look how bright it's getting.
Look at it now.
Bright.
Not bright enough for...
June 14th, 1947, there lived a man by the name of William Wares Brazil, but everyone who knew him called him Mac. Mr. Brazil owned a ranch 70 miles north of Roswell, New Mexico, and during the morning routine of him tending to his ranch, strange metallic debris can be seen scattered across his property, which caught his attention. The exact details of the debris have been described as metallic in nature, lightweight with rubber beams, and even possessed unusual characteristics. For the next nearly 2 weeks, Mr. Brazil investigated the debris, even going as far as getting second opinions from extra pairs of eyes, such as nearing neighbors and friends and families, in which they too described the findings as otherworldly, not from here. Startled by this realization, they pleaded for Mr. Brazil to report his findings to the nearest authority. And it wasn't until July 4th, over 2 weeks since the discovery of the strange debris, where Mr. Brazil, while in town, decided to visit the sheriff's office. And the rest is history. With a small piece of the strange debris in hand, Mr. Brazil showed one of the sheriffs, specifically Sheriff George Wilcox, a man who only recently, earlier that year, January 1st of 1947, was elected sheriff of town. Mr. Brazil spoke of his findings with urgency, explaining to the sheriff that the discovery of this strange debris on his property is not of Earth's origin. The unlikely words of an honest, hard-working man. This convinced the sheriff, and immediately following the conversation, reported the incident to the R.A.A.F, also known as Roswell Army Air Field, which immediately resulted in the military sending their own personnel. Colonel William Blanchard, a highly decorated base commander for the Roswell Army Air Field, who was tasked with investigating the incident and report back with any unusual findings. Needless to say, his findings were unusual, and on July 8, 1947, Colonel William Blanchard sent out a press release announcing the discovery of a flying disc. And my gosh, this became global, sparking interest worldwide, with everyone glued to their seats are waiting for any new headlines in regards to the incident. After this day, aliens or UFOs became synonymous with Roswell, and any attempt at debunking that, well, let's just say you're gonna be in for a hard time. And the reason for this is because the very next day of that press release, July 9th, 1947, the United States Army Air Force retracted the statement of the flying disc and instead chalked it up to a weather balloon. Yep, that. Nothing more. End of story. This, understandably so, did not sit well with the residents of Roswell. with the only new information that's given is among the residents themselves, with most of the claims being what they think happened or what they thought they heard. However, some of those witnesses have even gone as far as to say that they've seen alien bodies being recovered from the military. But at last, without any physical evidence or credible sources, these will always be just speculation or conspiracy theories, with the only true accounts being Mr. Brazil himself. But unfortunately, with the mass interest of his findings and the official report debunking his claims of seeing something out of this world, he wished he never even reported on it, with one of the news articles that interviewed him stating if he ever found anything else short of a bomb, he sure wasn't going to say anything about it, leaving Mr. Brazil to feel overwhelmed and apologetic for his claims, even after stating his familiarity with the weather balloons and how he's seen two before, and he knows the difference between what he saw then and what he saw that day. It's hard to say what actually occurred during the Roswell Incident of 1947. And now that so much has passed in time, it only becomes increasingly more difficult. In conclusion, whatever the case may be, the truth will come out, and only time will tell. And with the current events of today, it seems as though there's more to tell.
On my Area 51 line, you're on the air. Hello.
Hello, Art.
Yes.
Hi. I don't have a whole lot of time.
Well, look, let's begin by finding out whether you're using this line properly or not.
Area 51.
Yeah, that's right. Were you an employee or are you now?
A former employee.
Former employee.
I was let go on a medical discharge about a week ago, and I've kind of been running across the country. Oh man, I don't know where to start. They're gonna they'll triangulate on this position really soon.
So you can't spend a lot of time on the phone. So give us something quick.
Okay. Okay. What we're thinking of as aliens are they're extra-dimensional beings that an earlier precursor of the space program made contact with. They are not what they claim to be. They have infiltrated a lot of aspects of
Hi, I'm Bob Lazar.